Hello students, welcome back. Now this will be the 5th video lesson on the story The Third Level by Jack Finney from your Vistas. In the last video, we interpreted the text up to that portion when Charlie decided to book 2 tickets to Galesburg, Illinois, one for him and one for his wife. Let's find out when he went to the ticket counter what happened to him. Yes, have you ever been there? It's a wonderful town still with big old frame houses, huge lawns and tremendous trees whose branches meet overhead and roof the streets. And in 1894, summer evenings were twice as long and people sat out on their lawns, the men smoking cigars and talking quietly, the women waving palm leaf fans with the fireflies all around. In a peaceful world. To be back there with the First World War still 20 years off and the World War II over 40 years in the future, I wanted 2 tickets for that. Why Charlie wanted to book 2 tickets to Galesburg, Illinois? Charlie says that Galesburg, Illinois is a wonderful town with big old frame houses, huge lawns, and tremendous trees, big trees whose branches meet overhead and roof the streets. And he knew very well that now the Galesburg, Illinois that he is going to visit, he is thinking of visiting with his wife, will be the Galesburg, Illinois of 1890s. Okay, so Galesburg, Illinois of 1890s, summer evenings were twice as long summer evenings. And during summer evenings, people are found sitting out on their lawns. Men are found smoking cigars and talking quietly. The women waving palm leaf fans and all the fireflies around. And the world is a very peaceful world. And in 1890s of Galesburg, Illinois, the First World War and Second World War are still in the future. The First World War was supposed to take place 20 years later, and the Second World War 40 years later in the future. And Charlie wanted to visit that Galesburg, Illinois of 1890s. The clerk figured the fare. He glanced at my fancy headband, but he figured the fare and I had enough for 2 coach tickets one way. And when I counted out the money and looked up, the clerk was staring at me. He nodded at the bills. "That ain't money, mister," he said. "And if you're trying to skin me, you won't get very far." And he glanced at the cash drawer beside him. Of course, the money was old-style bills, half again as big as the money we use nowadays, and different looking. I turned away and got out fast. There's nothing nice about jail even in 1894. So he went to the ticket counter to book 2 tickets to Galesburg, Illinois of 1890s. The clerk who was sitting at the ticket counter, he told him the fare. Okay. And the man was looking very curiously at the fancy headband Charlie was wearing. Then he told the fare. And Charlie said he had enough fare for 2 coach tickets, one way. So he was counting the money he had in his pocket, but when he looked up, he found that the clerk at the ticket counter was staring at him. He nodded at the currency notes taken out modern currency notes that Charlie took out to book 2 tickets. That when the clerk sitting at the counter looked at that currency, he nodded his hand. That's not the money, mister. And if you're trying to cheat me, you won't be able to do. And then Charlie looked at the cash drawer beside that clerk. And he felt, yes, because the currency note inside that cash drawer was half again as big as the currency Charlie was carrying, the modern currency Charlie was carrying. And it looked different also. Then Charlie understood that if he happened to stay further, he would surely get into trouble. So he turned away and got out fast because it was not good to go to jail even in 1890s. And that was that. I left the same way I came. I suppose next day during lunch hour, I drew $300 out of the bank, nearly all we had, and bought old currency that really worried my psychiatrist friend. You can buy old money at almost any coin dealers, but you have to pay a premium. So my $300 bought less than 200 in old style bills, but I didn't care. Eggs were 13 cents a dozen in 1894. So Charlie came out of that third level because he didn't want to go to jail even in 1890s. And then he followed the same way. He came out. Next day, during the lunch hour, he came out of the office. He took $300 out of the bank that he had in his account, and he went to a coin dealer shop where he purchased old style currency with that $300. Yes, we can go to any this money dealer to buy old currency, but for that we have to pay premium, some amount as premium. So he had $300, but he could get less than 200 old currency. So he had to pay a premium of more than $100. But he didn't care because he knew that things were very cheap in 1890s. But I have never again found the corridor that leads to the third level of the Grand Central Station. Although I have tried often enough. So after purchasing the old style currency, he went to book 2 tickets to Galesburg, Illinois for him and his wife, and he went to the Grand Central Station, especially the third level. But when he went there, he didn't find any way leading to the third level at the Grand Central Station, though he tried many times. Then later on, he told this experience to his wife, Louisa. Louisa was very worried when Charlie told this experience to her. And Louisa requested Charlie not to search for the third level anymore. She was very worried. So Charlie also stopped searching for the third level. And he went back to his old hobby of collecting stamps. But now we are both looking every weekend because now we have proof that the third level is still there. My friend Sam Winner disappeared. Nobody knew where, but I sort of suspected because Sam's a city boy and I used to tell him about Galesburg. I went to school there and he always said he liked the sound of the place and that's where he is. All right, in 1894. Yes. After telling his experience to Louisa, Louisa requested Charlie to stop searching for third level anymore. But now both Charlie and Louisa are searching for third level because they have got the proof that third level is there. How? Because they got a letter from Sam. Yes, Sam suddenly disappeared. People had no idea where he had gone. But Charlie suspected because Sam is a city boy and Charlie used to tell him about Galesburg, where Charlie grew up. And Sam always wanted to visit that place, Galesburg, Illinois. So Charlie suspected that Sam must have gone to Galesburg of 1894. Why? Because one night, fussing with my stamp collection, I found, well, do you know what a first day cover is? When a new stamp is issued, stamp collectors buy some and use them to mail envelopes to themselves on the very first day of sale. And the postmark proves the date. The envelope is called a first day cover. They are never open. You just put blank paper in the envelope. Yes, why Charlie was a bit sure that Sam had gone to Galesburg, Illinois of 1890s because he had the proof. Because one day, while he was, looking at his stamp collections, and especially when he was, searching through his first day covers collection. Yes, first of all, we need to understand what first day cover is. When a new stamp is launched in the market, the very first day, stamp collectors, they buy that new stamp and mail, using that stamp, they mail envelopes to themselves. But that envelope contains a blank paper. So the envelope comes to you, but it carries the postmark. That is the first day cover. They never open the envelope because it carries blank paper. Yes, so I think you must have understood what first day cover is. So when Charlie was one day searching, his collection of first day covers, I found that one should not have been there. So that night, among my oldest first day covers, I found one that should not have been there. But there it was. It was there because someone had mailed it to my grandfather at his home in Galesburg. That's what the address on the envelope said. And it had been there since July 18, 1894. The postmark showed that. Yet I didn't remember it at all. The stamp was a 6-cent dull brown with a picture of President Garfield. Naturally, when the envelope came to Grand in the mail, it went right into his collection and stayed there till I took it out and opened it. Yes, so when he was searching through his first day covers, he found one first day cover which should not be there, but it was there. Someone had made that first day cover to his grandfather at his home in Galesburg, and it carried that address. And what was the date on the envelope? July 18, 1894. And the stamp that envelope carried was 6 cent. It was dull brown in color with the picture of President Garfield. So, because the date was July 18, 1894 and the address of grandfather, so it went into grandfather's collection. Then Charlie took it out and opened it. The first day cover should contain blank paper inside, but that first day cover did not contain blank paper. There was a paper inside which was not blank. It was actually a letter. Yes, that was a letter. Now, who wrote this letter to whom? Let's find out. Now, the letter was written from 941 Willard Street, Galesburg, Illinois, July 18, 1894. It was addressed to Charlie. Charlie, I got to wishing that you were right. Then I got to believing you were right. And Charlie, it's true. I found the third level. I've been here 2 weeks and right now Down the streets at the dolly, someone's playing a piano, and they are all out on the front porch singing, Sing Nearly Home, and I'm invited over for a lemonade. Come on back, Charlie and Louisa. Keep looking till you find the third level. It's worth it, believe me. And the note is signed Sam. So Sam wrote this letter to Charlie. What is the date? July 18, 1894. So in that letter, Sam said, okay, Charlie, you are right. Yes, you are right. It's true. Because I found the third level, and through the third level, now I have reached Galesburg, Illinois of 1890s. We are enjoying here. I'm here for the last 2 weeks, and right now they're at Delhi's place. Someone is playing a piano, and we are all enjoying. People are singing Sing Nearly Home, and here I'm invited for a lemonade party. So you and Louisa also come to Galesburg, Illinois. Keep searching for the third level till you find it, because third level is there, and through the third level I reached Galesburg, Illinois of 1890s. After looking at this letter, at the stamp and coin store I go to, I found out that Sam bought $800 worth of old style currency. That ought to set him in a nice little hay, feed and grain business. He always said that's what he really wished he could do, and he certainly can't go back to his old business, not in Galesburg, Illinois. In 1894, his old business. Why? Sam was my psychiatrist. So after finding this letter, Charlie went to the coin store where you can purchase old style currency notes. He found that Sam purchased $800 old style currency. So with that money, he could easily set up a hay, feed and grain business in Galesburg, Illinois. And that is what he wanted to do. And in Galesburg, Illinois, 1894, Sam cannot go back to his earlier business, that is being a psychiatrist. So that's the story. Now the author, Jack Finney, leaves the readers wondering what the third level is. He has left it open. It is for us to believe that third level is there or third level is not there. Charlie is able to find proof of his experience. Now, is it really possible to make this transition back and forth in time? Can we go back to past and again come back to present? Is this possible? So, third level is actually the point where the past, present and the future meet, and here nothing is as it seems. So, it is up to the readers to take the decision whether third level exists or third level does not exist, or the third level is there in our mind, or third level really exists in the story. It is open to the readers. I hope with this fifth video you must have been able to understand the text of the story very clearly. In the last video we are going to discuss the important questions related to this story, which are very important from the examination point of view. Till then, stay safe, stay healthy. Bye-bye.